Chaque semaine, dans le Screen Parfait, nous invitons un cinéaste à décrypter pour nous son dernier film en date. Et aujourd'hui, c'est le réalisateur allemand Fatih Akin que nous avons rencontré. Après Hedon, qui lui a valu l'Ours d'Or à Berlin, et de l'autre côté pour lequel il a reçu le prix du scénario à Cannes, Fatih Akin sort The Cut, dans lequel il revient sur les génocides arméniens, dont c'est le centenaire cette année. Ce film intense, il le considère comme son œuvre la plus importante à ce jour.
This film is the most personal and ambitious and most long-term film I ever did. You know, every day I woke up with the film in the morning, and I went to bed with the film, and that this for 5 years.
Né en Allemagne en 1973, de parents immigrés turcs, Fatih Akin nourrit son cinéma de cette double identité. Après quelques courts-métrages, il réalise Hedon en 2004, premier volet d'une trilogie sur l'amour, la mort qui sera illustrée dans De l'autre côté en 2007, et le mal, dernière thématique traitée dans The Cut, sorti cette année. Chaque film aborde les thèmes de l'identité des enfants issus de l'émigration et de leur place dans la société. Alors que 2015 marque le centenaire du génocide arménien en Turquie, The Cut revient sur ce massacre qui a hanté Fatih Akin toute sa vie. Il raconte l'histoire de Nazareth Manoukian, survivant du génocide qui parcourt le monde à la recherche de ses 2 filles.
It's a historical film about the 20s. So what did I do to research the 20s? I saw a lot of films about the 20s. I saw a lot of Chaplin. I watched the Chaplin films with the purpose to see the physiognomy in the background, the dress, the costume, the decoration. After a while, you don't watch this. You're just stuck on Chaplin because it's so strong. And I think it's much more stronger than a lot of stuff today. It's stronger, really. It really is. And I don't say that because it's old. No, there's something more. It's Chaplin, and he was unique. But there is a power in it. I want to try to catch a bit of this power. And I believe that this power comes from the muteness.
Comme Chaplin, Fatih Akin a rendu son héros muet.
Politically, this film is about freedom of speech. You know, freedom of speech in my motherland where we could not, speak about the Armenian genocide openly, you know. When we speak about it still today, we get attacked for it. When we use the term genocide, we get attacked for that, you know. So we were made mute aggressively from outside. So the muteness of Nazareth represents that. This is a film about cinema. I can not just give an information for the audience for the Armenian genocide. I cannot just create empathy for the Armenian genocide, for Armenian people, for that issue. I can also create an empathy for a cinema where people say this cinema is dead, it's not existing anymore. The cinema where I come from, which educated me, is very much a cinema of, The Last Imperator by Bertolucci. I saw this when I was a youth, when I was 12 or something like that. I never forget those images. I'm very much inspired by the work of Sergio Leone. You know, Once Upon a Time in America, Apocalypse Now, The Godfather, Scarface, you know. It's in me. I decided that this genre of the film should be a Western. I thought like the Western would be the right rules, because a lot of issues in the film, a lot of subjects in the film are like the classical Western. It's a search, you know, it's a film about traveling, it's a film about discovering America, you know, in a way. And Westerns, the classical Western is the, conquering America. You know, so the classical Western is shot in the cinemascope, you know.
Killed him? Who cares?
Artansir, Baba. Yelir.
This cinemascope 35 millimeter skills is dying. You know, it's really dying. It's not with every day. It's more difficult to shoot with that. And I would like to shoot with this. I would like to know what is it about before it completely dies out, before it becomes like dinosaurian, you know.
Sen aileni bulacağını mı sanıyorsun?
I was like, okay, I will shoot the film as a Western, classical, one, maximum 2 lenses, you know. We use a close-up when we really need one, you know. We do it classical, but I need one element of today. And I was like, is it the violence? I don't want to do such a violence film about a violent subject. You know, so I was looking for a modern element. Should I do a modern camera there? You know, I like to shoot this classical modern music. You know, I do it with heavy metal music, because you know, music always is for me a transformation for emotion. You know, I can color. I can paint with emotions through music. And I think the subject is heavy metal. It definitely is, you know, the genocide. So I decided to use heavy metal music or heavy metal oriented music, you know, as a modern element. I think it fits in a way. The heat with this sound somehow for me fits. It would not be the right thing to have, I don't know, world music, you know, and the duduk, and you know, I said, no, this is heavy metal. The world is, what's going on is heavy. It has to be heavy metal. I like to be in the wild with the camera. It's more a problem to carry your equipment into the wild. But when you shoot in the wild, instead of shooting in a studio with a green screen, always some things happen which is not in the script. The life is, I don't know, kept on satellite, which makes the film richer and more generous. The sandstorms are like that. There's 2 sandstorms in the film. The sandstorm was not in the script. You know, it's not a digital sandstorm. It was a real sandstorm. It was like, okay, we cannot shoot because the sand goes into the camera. Sand goes everywhere, you know. And the DP said, no, it looks good. Let's shoot. This is a sandstorm. Sandstorms are part of this nature here. Let's shoot. So we did that, and we had that in the film, you know, and incredible. You cannot create this. Werner Herzog knew that when he shot films like Fitzgeraldo. He said, no, we don't do that in the studio with a ship, you know, over the mountain. We don't do it with a model. We bring a real ship on the mountain. And they were like, and Herzog was, no, I want to catch the truth. And he did it, and he catch the truth. And today the film is, I don't know, an icon for the truthness and it's an example for willing, you know. This film would not be the same film if it would be, I don't know, built up in the studio. I believe that shooting in the wild can be helpful to make the cinema physical, really physical.
أصله شكوتر.
تحكي عربي؟ احكي. أبوس روحك خيو، مين عمل فيك هيك؟
This film is about spirituality, in a way. It's a spiritual quest. Somebody who's very faithful and who's losing his religion and find another spirituality through hope, you know. And for me, a very spiritual place is the cinema. You know, the thing which makes me wake up in the morning every day is cinema, in a way. You know, it's more than just a job. You know, it's my life.
The Cut est actuellement en salle.